Hi, this is a video of how to use Google Sheets to create a table for your experiment data and how to use the data with NZgrapher to plot a graph. This data shows boiling water over 2 minutes, which is 120 seconds. And we have done 3 trials, which is a proper experiment. Now, for our first trial, let's say we start at 15 degrees C, and after 30 seconds of boiling it, it reaches 19, and after 60, it reaches 25, and so on and so forth. And it's been repeated 3 times. So for a reliable data, we have to average the 3 trials. We can do so by using the 3 trials and averaging it. When you do programming in Google Sheets, you start with using equal sign for equation, and you can select the cells. Let's say I go select that cell here and it says B2. Notice how in Google Sheets the cells are denoted by column alphabets and row numbers. So that's B2, and I'll add B2 to C2 by clicking on it and add D2 by clicking on it. Now we've added 3 numbers, and to do a mean on it, we need to divide it by 3 because it's 3 numbers. So first of all, we have to bracket the 3 numbers to ensure that Google knows to add the 3 numbers before dividing by 3. And once we've done the equation, we hit the enter button and the number presents itself. Okay, so the good thing about using Google Sheets is that we only have to program once, and once we've programmed once, we can do it automatically for the rest of the rows. If you hover your mouse over the right bottom corner, the black cross will present itself, and you can click on it, drag it down, and all the equations will be done for the other rows as well. Okay, now we have to label the data. Notice all the previous data have been labeled with what it is, time, and the unit seconds. And trial 1 with degrees Celsius, trial 2 degrees Celsius, and so forth. So now we have to label what is known as the mean temperature. Okay, and then we have to do the units as usual, degrees Celsius, right? And we need to round numbers, though that's too many decimal numbers. What we can do is we can drag the whole lot of it and use this decreased decimal place, and we can just go down to 1 decimal place. That should be enough. Okay, next we are ready to plot a graph with the data, and we will use NZgrapher, and the URL is grapher.nz, and when you get in, just click OK. And the easiest way for you to paste your data in is just click on data and go paste table. Right, now go back to your Google Sheet. What you could do is you could select by clicking and dragging time, and remember to hit Control, hold down your Control button, which is on the left bottom corner of your keyboard, and click on the mean temperature. Okay, so that way we are selecting 2 columns that are apart. Okay, next, lift your fingers from the Control button, and you could go right click and copy, right? Or you could use the Control C button. Now that you've copied the data, go back to NZgrapher, right? And then you paste the data in here and then click on import. Okay, so now you've imported the data with time and the mean temperature into NZgrapher. Now we are ready to plot a graph. We will plot a scatter graph. Click on graph type and click scatter graph, and variable 1 and variable 2 automatically shows up. If it doesn't, you can just click time as variable 1 and mean temperatures as variable 2. Here, because I've plotted previously, it has shown up. Normally the regression line doesn't come up, okay? And usually with the options, they are reset to automatic. So what you would normally see is a graph like that once you've selected scatter graph, time, and mean temperature. So time would be on your x-axis and mean temperature on your y-axis. So we would like to fit in a line in there by using regression line, okay? And if you like to show the origin point of 0, 0, what you could do is click on more options, and for your minimum value you would want 0, and your minimum y you would want 0, and you update your graph, and here you would see on your graph that you can now see the origin of the graph. Okay, so keep in mind I had already entered a title previously. Let's say if you wanted a different title, let's call it ABC. You can update the graph and it will say ABC, but we don't want to call it ABC. We want to call it time versus temperature for heating water. Okay, and you can update your graph and it shows up on the title. And it's the same for axis and y-axis. If it doesn't update automatically from this side, you can always type your own title and units in and hit update graph, and it will update on its own. Okay, and for instance, if I wanted to extend the graph further past 120 seconds, I can click on more options and I could use maximum, let's say maximum X, I wanted 200 seconds, okay, and I'll update graph. You can see that it's extended beyond 180 seconds to 200 seconds. And we want the line to go up further. So because it's limited at 35 degrees, maybe we want the y-axis to go beyond to 60 degrees. So let's choose maximum y, which is the temperature, to 60 degrees, update graph. And we have the line extended. So this would allow us to predict, for instance, what the temperature would be at 180 degrees, and that would be around just over 40, about 43 degrees. And lastly, we want to paste this graph into a document. The easiest way is to click on it, right click, and go copy image of the graph, and we can then open a Google Doc or whichever doc you want, and a blank document. Click on it and right click again and paste. And the graph automatically presents itself. Okay, we also need to paste the table from Google Sheets in. We could click on Google Sheets and select the whole table, right click, copy, and go back to the document and right click, paste. And we'll paste unlinked, paste. And there we have it. We have the table of our results and the graph of our experiment. This concludes this video on how to use Google Sheets and NZgrapher to plot graphs. Thank you.